Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Please remain standing and join McKinley-Bourne for the singing of the Argentinian and Canadian national anthems.
Yes, Canada first. Yeah. Right here. Oh, there is an
McKinley-Bourne brought a Spanish coach in and learned that Argentinian anthem.
Good for her.
Proudly standing with her dad. Now she'll do the Canadian one she knows. Well, Winston, at that age, you think you'd have been capable of that?
Absolutely not. I would have been way too scared.
Daunting stuff for her and daunting stuff for this Canadian team. Very much the underdogs going in. A big loss on Wednesday evening, demoralizing for many of them against the U.S., their arch rivals. And right now, it's Argentina. Opposite them, Argentina are very much favorites to lift the trophy for the third time in a row here at the ARC. But Canada have made many changes through coach Kieran Crowley to really shake things up. Unhappy with the performance. Quick rundown. In the front row, James Smith comes in with Ray Barkwell and Doug Woolridge. In the second row, Aaron Flagg, Evan Olmsted, the find from Parramatta via Canada. In the back row, Captain Kyle Gilmore, Nanyak Dalla and Seb Pearson, with Gordon McCrory returning to his normal number 9 position. Patrick Parfrey takes on the 10 jersey, with Blevins on one wing and Sean Duke, fresh from Gold Coast 7's service, on the other wing, with Derek Daypuck and Jordan Wilson-Ross in the midfield. Wilson-Ross, many looking forward to bring a spark to this Canadian attack. And at the back, Sean Ferguson, another man who can open things up with any kind of space. Argentina, as we said, very much the favorites, with 6 players who featured in their recent first ever victory in the Rugby Championship against Australia. Off we go. Derek Daypuck and his left foot will get this one started. And it's a long kick from Canada. Returned. McCrory fields it on the sideline and hits big Seb Pearson in the midfield. Good hard yards from him. Argentina up the side, not penalized. McCrory off and running, simple hands. Just good stuff. Smith holds onto it over his head. Right away, Canada showing some spark. And Uruguay infringing at the breakdown. So I'm delighted to be joined by Winston Stanley, Canada's greatest ever winger.
Delighted to be here, Gareth. Thank you.
Much more pleasant start for Canadian fans.
A result would be nice here, but I would expect the. Oh yeah, that was just great hands from a prop. You don't expect that catch to be made, and really well done for him. But like I was saying, I think the Canadian team's looking, for a performance. Win or lose, I think they want to reestablish some good feelings and some good vibes about how they're playing the game.
Gordon McCrory, as we said, in his accustomed number 9 jersey, but will keep the kicking duties. Had a couple that got away from him on Wednesday night against the U.S., which really took the foot off the pedal in a way and allowed the Americans to get a bit of a gap. This is a tough first penalty. The wind's gusting a little bit, but not huge amounts here. He's on the wrong sideline for him as a right footer. And wouldn't it be great to get the crowd into this game? Let's see if he can get this through the middle. Clean strike. The crowd will tell you it's good. Canada on the board.
Outstanding start for the Canadian team. Pressure, composure, and a skilled kick finish. Excellent stuff.
We see some of the greats of Canadian rugby in the stands there. Big hands to Goody, former World Cup captain. He'll be delighted. Canada being confrontational with their first run. Big James Smith holding on to the ball, and McCrory punishing with the boot.
Really important to get the crowd into this game.
One of the surprise selections there, Ormson in at 10 for Argentina. He restarts. That ball goes back. Argentina in the air, very strong.
Canada not even competing at the breakdown.
Oh, what a hit. And that was Aaron Flagg, the man from Abbotsford. The arm is out for some reason. And another big hit from Flagg.
Well
what a
done.
great start.
Oh.
And again, the arm goes out.
What was that for?
Ormson, first receiver, as we said.
Well,
Referee's
great.
going to come back to a penny. Let's see if he has anything to say here.
What's the call here? I'd like to know. Not rolling away. Oh, and he's knocked it on. I think that's a little bit of a little bit of karma there. I think that was a really unlucky penalty on Flagg, who did nothing but put his body on the line. So hopefully we'll get to see again. Oh yeah, fights away from the number 2, and boom.
That is great stuff.
And where's the penalty? That's a bit of a mystery call. So I'm pretty happy the Argentinian knocked that on, because it didn't seem. That gets the crowd into it. That gets the players into it. Those big hits are what this game's all about.
Barkwell being the pest right on top of the Argentinian. So Aaron Flagg making a huge statement early on, and that's all you can do, Winston. You got a loss on Wednesday. Everyone's disappointed. That's exactly what's required. His time in Taranaki with the New Plymouth Old Boys down there paying off. Coach Neil Barnes will be delighted to see Aaron Flagg making his presence felt here.
We see 4 or 5 more hits like that in this game. It'll be hard to leave him out of a side.
Scrum down, Canada ball. Oh, a good counter scrum. A little bit disrupted. Again, the Argentinian back row messing around. So, referee Aki Aso, the Japanese representative. He's been in Asia for 10 years and spent a lot of time in New Zealand working on his match officiating, the man in the orange jersey. He'll have a big role to play here. He did a game on day 1 here. A good kick from McCrory, and the crowd likes it.
That's gained them about 35 meters of field territory. We're into the Argentinian half now, and here's our first phase attacking play. I'm looking forward and excited to see what Canada's going to do here.
Lineup was a problem for Canada in the first half on Wednesday night. Barkwell and his team have worked on this extensively. That one's a little bit overthrown. McCrory does well to clean up the bouncing ball. Nanyak Dalla in midfield with an offload.
Well done, Nanyak.
Parfrey, first receiver, he hits Daypuck. The backs do the rucking, and McCrory keeps the attack going. A lot more energy in the Canadian attack at this stage. Dalla carrying this time.
Wilson.
Jordan Ross. Pearson bounces a tackle right in front of the crowd. Barkwell, the half break, gets his hands free but can't offload. McCrory, the dummy and go. Nothing there. Duke comes in to fill in the scrum half roll. A little bit of indecision. Referee says play on.
Oh, Pearson with another monstrous hit. That's the danger of a halfback going by himself. You know, you get isolated like that, and you know, nobody else on the team really knows what McCrory was doing there, and he got isolated, and unfortunately that was a turnover, but really good energy from the Canadian team so far. Nanyak putting in some big hits. Flag we saw, Pearson there, really lowered the boom. I hope we get to see that.
Yeah, this one was stolen by Argentina. Watch Pearson come back into play as Woolridge does his bed. The ball's offloaded, and there's a solid tackle there. Just sitting him on his bum, exactly what those fans want to see and exactly what Canadian rugby needs right now.
Exactly. I mean, that's what gives a rugby team momentum and a positive feeling, is when you're giving out hits like that.
So those fans are sitting on some beautiful aluminum seating here out in Langford, sponsored by our host here. And when things get going well, the noise is going. But the referee has had a word with Cal Gilmore, and I think he may have penalized Pearson for not wrapping his arms there. So a late penalty, probably helped by his touch judge. I don't know if that was necessarily the case, but
even if it was, as a coach, I'm okay with that.
yeah, I have to agree with you. He's setting the tone.
Yeah.
Argentina kick down the line.
Especially in a game like this, when we're not expected to do super well. It's really important. Really important to make hits like that and establish your presence. So well done.
It's bobbled by Argentina, but regrouped.
Argentina showing great composure here.
It's gone down, but not to ground. So rightfully so, Canada put in. And aren't these great scenes? Just to the left of your screen there, behind the score bug, is the Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, sitting in the third row, getting a great view of the action. Judith Guichon, and she'll be here to present some medals later on. But the Canadians definitely giving her something to cheer about. Pearson at the back of the scrum.
A little bit excited to watch Sean Duke have a go on the wing today for the Canadian team. I had the honor of coaching him, or the pleasure, last year at UVic, and was impressed by his speed, his power, and his mannerisms. So it's nice to see him getting a shot with the 15s, and hopefully he can do some good things today and justify that selection.
Yeah, he's definitely a man that they think can bring some spark that was missing from Canada's attack in the first two games against Uruguay and USA.
Yeah, he's not short on pace, that's for sure.
Part of the Sevens group, the National Carter group that trains out of the Center of Excellence here, Canada's training center in Langford, BC here.
Where he's lined up right now, it makes me think he just might get involved on this first phase play if the ball comes back cleanly.
Yeah, good attacking opportunity for Canada with that scrum on the far sideline. And there is Miss Guichon in the red jersey. Look at her supporting the cause. Just two left of the men in the medals there. Themselves rugby supporters. And there's Duke, first receiver. He goes wide. And there is Jordan Wilson-Ross with a dubious pass, but cleaned up well by Blevins.
Oh, nice offload.
Ferguson getting through. He's chipping ahead for himself. Can he get a bounce? It's hung up in the air. He's immediately on it. There's pressure from Dalla, but they just get away in the midfield. And good work from Isaac. He gets all the way out past the 22. Ormson pushing it through the hands. Barea brought down, and Ormson gets it back again. He's got 2-on-1, and he gives the pass to his center. Joaquin Pass, the 20-year-old, very much against the run of play. He's going to get the breakout try for Argentina. So absolutely heartbreaking. Winston Stanley, Canada pressing meters from the Argentinian line, end up conceding a score under their own post.
Well, it just goes to show how fine a line this game is. You know, we had a bouncing ball 5 meters from their line with tons of pressure, and don't want to throw Naniak under the bus there, but if that tackle is made on their goal line, this is a whole different story. And there they go, able to, like you were talking about in the last game, off of a turnover ball, those spaces that aren't normally there, and credit to Argentina for a couple of nice little offloads from the deck to oncoming players. And
credit Brian Ormson there. He made the last pass. He's really been a surprise selection over Patricia Hernandez, who is their star, their up-and-comer in the 10 jersey, but he's been put back to fullback today. And Ormson's in at 10, and the extra 2 points are added. So against the run of play, as we said, 7 points to 3 for Argentina. The points were added on the conversion by Fernandez.
Well, yeah, that was a nice break by Ormson there. He impressed me last week when I watched him play, and continues to do so today.
Day puck, kicking it long and high. Oh, a stumble there. Gathered. Good tackle from Duke on the far side. Argentina ball.
There's Barkwell involved again in almost everything.
Argentina looking out wide. Dalla corrals him. Ormson this time, stepping again. Beautiful balance. Another inside ball. Was it forward? No. Play on, says the ref. Asking lots of questions, and Blevins beaten on the outside. That's Barea. He's still going midfield. He gets it to his fullback, Fernandez. Ormson in support. It goes behind to the scrum half. Escura. He's brought down 10 meters from the Canadian line. Simple hands from Argentina, but it doesn't go to hand. It's just frantic stuff as there's an overlap.
Oh.
And the big man, Juan Cruz Guyaman, knocks it on, and the referee's coming back for a penalty.
It looks like an offside, and it looks like the Canadians are going out of their way to lay some big hits, trying to physically intimidate these Argentinians. And it's a dangerous game to play that. You know, opens up holes, and I think these guys are used to some big hits. So
there's a difference between physically imposing and getting out of your defensive line and out of control.
Yeah.
That's the challenge for the Canadians. You see the captain there, Baez. Rodrigo Baez has been outstanding in this tournament. This was the breakout from Barea, and he looked good from the back, didn't he, Winston?
Oh, for sure. And this passing is so composed here, these little offloads and picking the right guy, not giving it to the man 10 who is in trouble. And then 9 not losing his mind and keeping his feet and not throwing the ball away. And you know, Argentina plays a very nice style of rugby.
Very confident on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they'll use Fernandez to try and keep the scoreboard ticking over with another 3 points. The penalty was for offside. Canada at that breakdown, not getting back. So important couple of minutes here for Argentina. They got right back and on top in this game.
And that's going to be the trick with the Canadian team today. Not only making the tackle, but being aware of the players around the guy getting tackled and making sure that they're not unaccounted for.
Fernandez, the man from the Jockey Club in Rosario, casually stretched that one over with his left foot. So 10 points Argentina, 3 for Canada. Just early stages of the first half still here in America's Rugby Championship action. Thanks for joining us. Canada versus Argentina on the final match of 6 here in Victoria on the west coast of Canada. Ormson kicks it long. McCrory gathers, hits Pearson midfield. Pearson's done some heavy lifting. And there he is, a big collision on Mateus Cortese. McCrory digging out that ball. It's slowed up again by Argentina. This time McCrory sticks it through into the corner.
Love that little kick. Pressure.
Ormson gathers. He goes long. So an opportunity here for Canada. Definitely the Argentinian players offside, advancing. Referee hasn't picked it up. They're ahead of the kicker. And again, more scrappy ball.
Penalty given there, but both of these long clearance kicks have just been given to a player, and then he's just running into the line, and it's taking way too long to get those balls back. I'm not sure what needs to change there. Maybe the support guys need to be a little bit closer.
There's Blevins taking it in. He gets solid contact from Ormson and the forward pack immediately there. And this is where the Argentinians have to release him and allow him to present that ball. And you can see they're coming straight over the top and stealing it off. So the referee's penalized. But as you said, the impact on the game is that it doesn't allow quick ball, which is when the opportunities are available for Canada.
Let's hope McCrory can make them pay and tighten this game up a little bit.
The last kick was a beautiful strike from a similar position on this right touchline. McCrory, the man originally from Scotland, from Stirling County, is now living and playing his rugby in Calgary. Got his first cap this season, against Japan. And he's a prestigious goal kicker as well as a very, very tidy little scrum half. Got 3 caps this year. Can he get 3 more points here? Good strike. It's down the middle. Is it long enough? Yes, it is.
Reminiscent of a young Gareth Rees, slotting penalties from all over the pitch.
Slight difference in jersey size, but great to see him go down the middle. And Canadian fans say great to see points on the board. 10 points to 6.
Barkwell shouting encouragement at his teammates. Boys get a little bit of a lift from that 3 points. They feel like they're back in this game.
What they're doing is they're hanging around. They're not getting, they're taking their opportunities when they're available, which they couldn't do against the U.S. There's Daypuck in the air. He gathers well. This man, the 36-year-old from London, has been a great servant to Canadian rugby, as you know, Winston. But he's here because he's been one of the best players in the domestic competition, the Canadian Rugby Championship. McCrory looking to box kick. There he goes, high. Wilson Ross will chase.
That's a really nice. Oh, unlucky.
Wilson Ross couldn't get his hands on it, but Fernandez does. And Canada's a little bit exposed here. They're short of numbers out wide.
Whoa.
Oh, Dalla with a crushing blow.
Oh, ouch. I think he hurt Blevins almost more than the opposing player.
Well, exactly what the doctor ordered against a tough Argentinian side. When you're on Canadian soil, make them feel that they're here and make them feel that Canada's in the house. But look at Nanyak Dalla. This is when the ball was spun wide. Dalla and Blevins having to pinch in because they're short. And the flat pass from the captain. Fair tackle, wrap the arms, and a textbook hit.
That was just perfect defense. You know, he was the last man on the line. The last man got the ball. He was able to step in there. The shorter winger Facundo Barea there, I don't think there was any thought of a high tackle. Just unfortunately, Blevins on the other side of that caught Facundo's head right in his nose.
So
and
getting the blood to stop. That's,
getting work done by Chris May, a super physio, former great player himself.
Yeah, Chris May's made a few tackles. I don't know if they had the same impact that Dalla did there, but it's his medical skills that are required now. Maybe get James Stone on the case, another great player who's on the medical team here. But Blevins will be substituted in for Blood. That is Pat Kay on the field, just out of shot at the bottom of your screen. So he goes on to the wing, I believe. He played fullback on Wednesday night. Not his best night, it must be said. So a nice opportunity for him with the Blood sub to show Kieran Crowley what he's made of and that he can rebound from that poor performance on Wednesday.
I've seen quite a bit of Pat running, and he's got some magic in those legs. So it'd be nice to get him some ball and a bit of space and see if he can reproduce some of his rugby guile.
Scrum's gone down. Referee Asso resetting it. Argentina have 2 defenders just to the left of your screen there, and Canada has Ferguson and Duke in space.
Our speed merchants.
Yeah.
Let's try to get them some ball.
Ormson's gone all the way over there. You can see his hands on knees. He has to remain 5 meters back from that scrum, but he'll want some help from the inside from his back row. Can Canada attack to the top of your screen?
So important in these scrums, Gareth, that not only do we keep it up, but we have a stable scrum. Argentina traditionally a very strong scrummaging team, so to be able to get a wheel, which in a scrum means to move it slightly to the side that you want to. In this case, we would like to have a bit of a right-hand wheel, so Doug Woolridge, we want to go forward a little bit more than...
and there's the free kick. Sorry, Winston, but third time not able to set it. McCrory runs around the back, and they're off and running, Canada. Parfrey offloads. McCrory to Parfrey again. They puck wide to Jordan Ross. He's off his left foot, but he stumbles. He's still going, though. Back up on his feet, plowing through Argentinian defenders. Jordan Wilson-Ross produces quick ball, and there's Smith. He's a strong man.
It's a free one here. Referee's given advantage to an offside.
Wide ball, Gilmore. Immediate support from Canada.
Great
McCrory,
ball
support.
production there, hey?
Yeah. There's Day Puck uses Dalla, who uses Flag, who uses Parfrey on the runaround. And then it goes wide. One-on-one, Kay. He keeps it alive. Good play from him. Smith all the way over on the far side supporting. He's been busy. This is good phase play from Canada, but they've been knocked back. And the referee's going to give a penalty in front of the posts against Argentina, as you said, Winston, for Argentina offside.
Just a great passage of play for the Canadians there. Hey, that'll really give them some confidence. Moving the ball from side to side, multiple phases, multiple offloads. That's as good as a phase of rugby we've seen from the Canadian team this week, I think.
I think you're right, Winston, and a real change of pace. They're upping it. You look at the work of James Smith there, getting from sideline to sideline. The man from Shoalhaven, the prop, getting there to secure possession. There's Dalla. This is the final play where the referee said no advantage was coming. Dalla was driven back. But well done to Kay as well, number 22 there. As we said, not his best night on Wednesday. He did really well on the sideline, put in one-on-one, tried to beat his man. But as you know, when it doesn't come off, you've got to keep that ball alive and keep it on the field.
Yeah, that'll give him a lot of positive energy going forward for the rest of the game. Really tough sometimes as a winger, Gareth, that sometimes you won't touch the ball for 5 or 6 minutes. So, you know, if you do make a mistake on your first touch, it can sit with you for a while. So I'm really pleased for Pat that wasn't the case.
McCrory basically in front of the post, a chip shot. He's hit it. It's good. So the third penalty for Gordon McCrory gets Canada within 1 point, much to the delight of the locals. And as you say, the best rugby they've been able to witness in this year's ARC Championship from Canada. McCrory's been a key part of that, so quick to arrive and quick to get that ball away. And that's what's catching the Argentinians offside and not set in the midfield. Ormson to restart, this time long and flat. Going straight to McCrory, who will return it with interest and some height. Issa gathers.
Right.
And Fernandez's left foot. Well, the referee said wait and then let him continue. That's gone off a leg, so it's a play-on situation.
Number 7, 10 meters.
Okay. There is the call. He said wait, and 7 kept running, and he's penalized him.
Number 7, 10 meters.
He was within 10 meters where the ball landed.
You've got to be really active there if you're in front of the kicker to move back 10 yards from the catcher, unless somebody from behind has put you onside. And Aki was very clear with his instructions there. So,
what a beautiful strike from Gordon McCrory. And Winston, sometimes he's been asked to play out of position in the first 2 games at fly half. And for McCrory, number 9, Black, just excellent place kicking, excellent kicking out of his hands. He seems so much more relaxed, so much more composed, and I guess being in his regular scrum half position, it's brought that to him.
Yeah. No, he as well as the rest of the team are really they're playing error-free rugby right now. It's really fun to watch.
Lots of local celebrities in the crowd here. Shane Thompson, Canada's I think all-time 7th appearance, and great current coach of BC Kids. He's up there supporting Brentwood Cause. Good line-up ball from Flag off the top. Dalla's in the midfield again. He tries to offload, doesn't go to hand. This could be trouble for Canada as Brex picks it up, and the chip ahead again. Gilmore's covering back, hoping this one rolls into touch, and it does. So sloppy midfield handling, costly.
So tough as a forward, I imagine, coming off of a lineout where we struggled a little bit on, Canada struggled a little bit on Wednesday and won a great clean lineout ball there, only to be 70 yards back through a back handling error.
So again, under pressure, he's trying to make that pass. What's the solution in terms of the Canadian backs there?
The solution might be to maybe pull back, have a little bit more depth so that you're able to transition those passes without Argentinian hands getting in the way.
Olmsted up and big.
Another fine kick by McCrory.
So Mr. McMaster on the far sideline. As we announced earlier, both the assistant touch judges have had some fantastic news. They will be involved in the aforementioned Soldier Field game with the All Blacks and the USA on November 1st. Both the Canadian touch judges, assistant referees, Andrew McMaster and Chris Asmus have been selected to be a part of that. So 55,000 people will be watching them. And congratulations to them and the whole refereeing community that's got them that opportunity. Right now, back to Argentina in possession midfield.
Barkwell again. 2 tackles in a row. What a gamer.
Yeah, Escura looking to go short side again. But most of the white jerseys at the top of the screen, as you can see, and this time they do attack through Ormson. He chips it through. There's space. Is there a bounce? No, Duke gets to it first. A crucial play from him.
He's done well to get the ball back there. Corey's got to move this.
Puck, Baypuck picking it up high.
Hey!
Evans has got it.
Wow. Oh.
I think that's, if it's a knock on, it's offside, but no, says the referee, play on.
Oh, a tremendous take by Blevins, only to get absolutely rocked in the back and turn that ball over.
Well, Pearson stepped in, and this time he knocks it on, but good pressure from him. But what a play from Blevins, back from the blood bin, had his nose cleaned up. He had it clean, Winston, but he just couldn't find another set of hands.
Oh, he was through. He was just looking to make a pass 3-on-1, took his eye off the defender, and, you know, fair play on Isak there. He forced that turnover with that big hit in the back.
He actually hit it with the hand. But I wonder if they could have been screaming outside a little bit more. But
there's a try-scoring opportunity.
The positive play. Baypuck put the kick in. Technically sound from Blevins, and I know he's been challenged by the coaches here. Maybe not himself in his best form. A place on that November tour looming for Nick Blevins. Normally plays in the center, but on the wing here tonight. A great play from him. Argentina, solid scrum. It's out. Gilmore's up early, but not penalized for it, and he holds him up, and the ball comes out.
It's exactly what you want.
Pressure, there's numbers for Argentina.
Nice passing.
A very early offloading from them, not getting tied up. And there's a short runner who knocks it on. Wilson Ross scrambling. Referee not playing any advantage there as Wilson Ross gathered it. Maybe a bit early on the knock-on call.
Nice to hear the crowd giving the Canadian boys a good cheer for their effort so far.
Yeah, they see the short runner coming at pace, and the boys get in their trenches and just get him enough to spill that ball, and it's Wilson Ross showing tenacity too to gather up the loose one. There's the Canadian bench in behind, all the players supporting.
You never question Jordan Wilson Ross for effort. Every time I've seen him play, he's put every single ounce of his soul into the game. So I think that's something that the fans appreciate, teammates appreciate, and is really needed in a rugby game, which is, you know, so tied into your emotions. It's being able to control that emotional, I don't know, the power of the being excited and,
yep.
and not
some would say the X factor is what he brings to it. He can open it up. The man originally from Ontario, part of the Ontario Blues, defending champs, but also a James Bay player out here on the West Coast in Victoria. So can they get the ball to Wilson Ross or anyone else in the midfield? Pearson with a strong pass through the legs. There is puck with Ferguson hitting the line. He hits Blevins short. Blevins goes north to south. The Maori sidestep runs right over his opposite number. And they've stretched the Argentinian defense, but they look in pretty good shape. Look at all those white jerseys lining out across the field. McCrory thought there was something on, but was immediately dumped. Daypuck in at 9. Parfrey, good step from him. The man from the Swilers and the rock. Seems to be a little more control behind the scrum with the likes of Parfrey and Daypuck all willing to take charge as first receiver. Canada slow to arrive at that rock and have been penalized. And Woolridge is saying, look at all these white jerseys off their feet. And a little push and shove. James Smith as he's getting up.
James Smith not taking a step backwards, quite mobile, doing some very good stuff in this game today. 10-9 for Argentina. It's a 1-point game. This is exactly what the Canadian fans wanted to see when they came out here tonight. I can't remember Argentina being inside the Canadian 22.
Well, except for the try.
Except for that.
Yeah. No, you're right, and they've made some mistakes, but caused by some big Canadian hits going in. And I think they're very lucky at the breakdown at the moment. They're off their feet, and the referee also has penalized them a couple of times, but there's certain frustration from the Canadians on the field. There is possession through Alemano. He's a big man, and Barkle gets dealt with.
Oh, great steal there by Olmsted. Unfortunately lost it. But managed to squeeze his way in amongst that Argentinian drive and procure the ball.
If we do get the replay here, you see Barkle takes a complete cheap shot from the Argentinians, but that's what you want. You want someone who's causing problems. You can't let the Argentinians have it their own way. And then, as you said, Olmsted got his hands on it. And now Barkle in the middle of that. Let's see here. See, look at there is Olmsted. This is afterwards. He's trying to steal it. He's got his hands on. Look at Barkle. Kind of gets on the wrong.
Oh, it was before
side.
that. Yeah, we missed that, but he's going to feel that one tomorrow.
That's very much the teams we were fortunate enough to play in Winston. The forward packs. It was definitely a don't take a back seat. You know, get in people's faces. Let them know you're there and be accounted for. And you know, Big Al Sharon's here with some alumni today, and those are the hallmarks of Canadian forwards. And there's a hint of it here today, which is great to see.
Yeah, very encouraging. You see the fans in the stands; they are glued to this game. Everything to watch. It's been interesting twice on first phase scrum ball. It looks like Canada's been able to get outside the Argentinian line. I'm not sure if that's something they've noticed or is that part of the game plan, but they're doing a really good job of making yards on the outside. And if we can keep doing that.
And a feed against Argentinian scrum half, putting the ball in. And for some reason, the Argentinian captain has grabbed the ball, then elbowed the scrum half, and he has no right to do that. Referee Asso has his head down. So any advantage for a quick tap is lost. It's a free kick to Canada.
It's a short arm, so he can't go straight to touch or he won't get the line out.
Here it is, the feed. The ball has to go down the middle of the scrum, and you see Argentina just putting that in gently on their side. So well done to Asso.
I'd like to see Captain Gilmore get a few more touches. He's produced such a great ball whenever he's got in.
Daypuck wins the collision but loses the ball. The chip through from Brex. Rolls into touch, and the Argentinian bench like that because they know Canada's backed right up on their own try line.
Well, Daypuck can't afford to have those balls come out of his hands if he wants to keep on with this Canadian team. At 36, he's 3 beers deep into the last chance saloon and needs to hold on to those balls.
Barkle to throw in. Canada need to execute. The long throw was read by Argentina. Pearson gathered it. A hint of a knock on. There is Gilmore.
Call.
The offload to Dalla.
There they go.
McCrory's in space. He goes back into Olmsted.
Blevins.
Blevins supports. He takes contact. He's got to release that. He's got to release it. He can't die with it.
Fine.
It stops out the side. Referee says fine.
Oh, wow.
What a great breakout from Canada. A team play, and there's some pushing and shoving. That's frustration from Argentina. And Canada, they're sticking up for their men, both sides.
No surprise to see Barkwell in the middle of that, and Olmsted. Probably our two most physical and irritating forwards.
Barkwell's actually jerseyed his man.
I'd like to see the replay on the line out down on our line to see what exactly happened there, but looked like an overthrow and a knock on. And
yeah, that was the bounce, and it looked like there may have been a knock on, but good offload here. And look at the support from Dalla. And then McCrory. Good pace from him, but all these guys not dying with the ball, and this is what Blevins is perhaps guilty of here. He's got to keep this ball alive, keep it through the hands.
Yeah,
So
had to go there.
Yeah.
Please contribute, as several national teams.
I mean, even quick ruck ball there is better for Argentina than an offload that keeps the play going. Well, the jersey's back on. The referee's having a little chat with the captains. Right there, settling things down. Of course, that's the great Rodrigo Baez, 25-year-old for Argentina. He started in that famous win against Australia for the Pumas 2 weeks ago. And he's been outstanding in this tournament. Hasn't had his hands on the ball a great deal, as many of the Argentinians haven't, as they've been on the back foot in this game.
Yeah, that Argentinian dominance that we've seen for the first two games is just not here, and full credit to the Canadian team for more than matching them with physical vigor and having some very nice phases of play as well to match.
Scrum 30 meters out for Canada. Parfrey shouting instructions there. He's changed the play. I wonder if he spotted. There's two Argentinians over on the blind side and the fullback straight behind the scrum. So maybe a chip through or something. Let's see, but a big shunt from Argentina and a penalty to Canada, taking it down as they were under pressure. Well, there's serious experience in this front row. Nogueira Paz, Cortese, and Matias Diaz. Very, very strong in the tradition of Argentinian scrummaging forwards.
Looks like Barkwell and his opposite number, Cortese, they're exchanging pleasantries as far as technique goes, and I think all the scrums from here on in should be quite an interesting scene.
Cortese, 29 years old. He's been around a bit. Liceo, Northampton, Biarritz, Bayonne, Gloucester, Colomiers. He's played some rugby in Europe. Didn't win a European championship like the man sitting next to me. Still the only Canadian, Winston Stanley, to win Heineken Cup, the European Championship.
Argentinian props, as you know, in Europe, Gareth, are highly valued, and their careers last a long time, going from club to club. Such a strong country, traditionally scrummaging.
There we go, midfield presence, and there is one of those scrummagers. Paz spills it, advantage to Canada. Blevins on the ball. He loses his footing just before contact. McCrory's there. Argentina regrouping in defense. Parfrey to Olmsted. Support from Canada. McCrory. Big Aaron Flagg gets the short offload. He does well to get going forward. McCrory using Dalla. Dalla gets a half break, looks for the offload. Blevins is there.
It's a nice quick ball.
Parfrey spills it. Unfortunately, just perhaps guilty of lifting his head. Frustration there, but his teammates should pick him up. Good play from Canada again. We've all been there, Winston. You're just having to look up to see what's on, and you don't gather the ball. That's what happened to Parfrey.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It seems to me I'm seeing the captain, Kyle Gilmore, out on the right wing quite a bit today. Like they're trying to get him the ball out there.
It is one of Coach Crowley's, the strategies in there after the knock-on. He gets the headlock to boot. But it is to show width, so the Argentines have to defend with width, and the flankers and sometimes the front row boys have to provide that by staying at home. It can be frustrating for the likes of Gilmore when they want their hands on the ball.
For sure.
Gilmore was outstanding. In fact, was the man of the match for Canada in their first game against Uruguay. That was 8 days ago, Saturday, the 11th of October. This is the final match of the 2014 ARC. And great to have you joining us for this. It's been a scintillating affair, 10 points to 9 for Argentina. They haven't had a great deal of possession, and Canada has been quite a thorn in the Argentinian side so far. But another penalty against Canada at the scrum. Time off for the ref. He's seen something he doesn't like.
Doug Woolridge is the recipient of his
Bind on the shoulder. Okay. One back, please.
displeasure, and
2 times penalty kick. 2 times penalty kick.
Well, I don't like to see this. He's asking him to bind on the shoulder. That's fine. But he's now backing himself into the corner, saying 2 times a penalty kick. So is he now setting himself up to have Woolridge off the field with a yellow card? There were initial penalties against Argentina that didn't receive the same talk, but Woolridge does get that talk. Really the threat, don't do it again if the scrum goes down again. And Argentina have heard that. Gilmore doing the right thing here, talking to the referee, trying to massage him. That's the captain's job. Levins on the wing, showing the scars from earlier collision. There's the Argentina lineout. It's long and it's good. Some obstruction there, not picked up by the ref. And the referee's going to come back for the knock-on by Canada. So, big scrum here because he's laid out his stall, if you will, Winston.
exactly. That's going to enable the Argentinians to have a more comfortable, and they're going to look to do what we talked about earlier, is probably try to wheel the Canadians to the right. Put their quick scrum half Escura into space, and maybe
Well, the man on the far side, sorry Winston, Doug Woolridge there, very much under the microscope. The man from Lindsay, he's been told to put that bind up high. Presumably he has. Argentina.
Oh,
it's been stolen.
almost.
It's bouncing around in there and it's wheeled, so it will be a Canada put in.
Oh my goodness.
Number 1 is the penalty. I don't know.
Number 1.
Not pushing straight. That's a remarkable call from an international referee. The ball was never hooked. It bounced around, and then it wheeled violently.
Stop.
So he's penalized both Canadian props. There you see it bouncing all over the place. And the call here is that number 1 red wasn't pushing properly.
I'm not sure how you can single out one player for a scrum like that.
So
I'd feel a little bit hard done by if I was Smith.
crucial because it's right in front of the post, and where Argentina are offering very little, had a bit of a mix-up on their lineout, and their scrum, not the clean strike that we've come accustomed to, will still be able to get points on the board, courtesy of referee Asso.
Argentina, if memory serves correct, used to scrum by not striking for the ball, by just pushing over, which was unique to their country and their philosophy of scrummaging. It looks like they tried that again, and they got their 3 points and almost lost that scrum.
So that will do it halftime here. 13 points Argentina to 9 points for Canada. A frustrating end, but a much more positive display from Canada as they get a well-deserved cheer from the local fans. Heading off here. Winston, you've got to say, and we've all been a part of poor performances, you couldn't ask for a great deal more from Canada than the spirit they showed there.
Absolutely. You know, I was talking about it right at the start, that the result is not as important as the performance, and you know, they're going to be, I wouldn't say happy, but they're going to be excited and enthused for the second half. They certainly will feel that they're in this game and have every chance to win it.
Well, we're going to stay with you at halftime here as the score is 13 points to 9 for Argentina. We've got some presentations of some key supporters of the ARC event. So we'll take a couple of minutes break here as they set up, but thanks for joining us. Come on back in a couple of minutes. I'm Gareth Reese for Winston Stanley. Great to have you here.
Championship, Rugby Canada's IRB representative, Mr. Chris Lefebvre, will now present to his honor Mayor Stu Young a finely carved rugby ball in recognition of the city's great support of not only this championship, but the game of rugby football.
Well, there we have the Mayor of Langford, Stu Young, receiving from Chris Lefebvre Rugby Canada's IRB board representative, a beautiful carved rugby ball in recognition of all the support the city of Langford has given to this tournament, the America's Rugby Championship, but also for the game of rugby football here in these parts, the host of Canada's Centre of Excellence. And this time it's Rugby Canada receiving a small token. That's Pat Aldis, commemorating Canada's significant role in hosting the IRB America's Rugby Championship. So nice little moments for all the volunteers. And we also have a very special group that has done so much in Canadian rugby. You may or may not have heard of them, the Dog River Howlers, as they're known. They have been nominated by the North American Rugby Association for all the work they do. And led by Carl Fix and a huge team of volunteers who really believe that rugby is more than a game, it's a way of life. And they do provide opportunities for young athletes who couldn't maybe afford to go on rugby tours, representative tours. They go to parts all over the world, particularly in Cuba and the Caribbean and South America. They're off to Colombia this year. And there is Rick Bourne, the chairman of the NACRA Rugby Association. He's making a presentation to the delegation from the Dog River Howlers, the invitational group that has had some hugely influential people in it. And I believe representing the Dog River Howlers, we have Ms. Shannon Kane, Mr. Leo Lane, the star from Saskatchewan, Mr. Shane Thompson, outstanding coach of 7s and 15s, and a great player himself, Mr. Kevin Blanchette, a huge servant of the Canadian game, and Mr. Carl Fix. So great recognition of the work that goes on. There you see Leo Lane with some of the traditional gear, Kevin Blanchette, and the big man, Carl Fix. Beautiful evening last night down at James Bay Rugby Club, a fundraiser for these athletes again, with Mr. Jack Semple playing some beautiful guitar music. So well done to Carl Fix and the whole team at the Dog River Howlers. All they do for rugby and all they do for our great game. We'll have one more competition here at halftime. You can see the pictures from the halftime kicking competition from Eagle Tours, and there is Brian Kelly. And we will lay off and let you watch the competition here to win a free whale watching trip. We'll be back.
2 people if he kicks it from the 10, 4 people from the 20, or an entire boat. So 12 people get to go on a fantastic whale watching trip if he can kick it from the 30. Carl, you look like you're a front rower, my man. Front rowers aren't usually known for their kicking. What are your thoughts on getting it before?
I just got to get it over this damn thing.
It's a good attitude. I like it. But before we get underway, today is Carl's birthday, so I'm hoping that everybody can give me a big happy birthday, Carl, on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get this underway here. So I need you guys to give me a hand. So before he gets going, I need everybody to stomp on the ground as he runs up to make his kick, okay? Let's make some noise. Let's get really loud here for Carl. Okay, so we're going to go for the 10-meter kick first. Everybody stomp on your seats. The 10-meter kick, he lines it up. Thank you. He's looking. No stretching.
And we're back here.
required.
Gareth Reese with Winston Stanley. There's big Carl Renner. Winston, he's kicking goals for a prop from Velux. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
He's had a chance to win a trip from Eagle Wing, the whale watching adventures. He's hit it, and it's good. The crowd loves it. It's his birthday today as well. So Renner will go back to the second ball.
I got to coach Carl about 7 years ago. He would come down from Duncan and make the trainings, and was very committed and very keen, and really nice surprise to see him out there.
Look at that form. Johnny Wilkinson, eat your heart out. Oh no. Winston Stanley's his coach, and even the Lieutenant Governor there off to the right of your screen. He's a little bit embarrassed with that one.
Classic little shimmy step on the way up, threw off his timing.
So, wonder what's going on in his mind. Do it for Velux, Carl. Do it for Canada.
Come on, Carl.
Do it for these fans. Oh, he almost takes out the photographer. But good on him making the first one. And thank you to Eagle Wing Tours for their support and providing the prize here. Well, good to see, isn't it, Winston? The crowd, and good to see the players giving them something to cheer about.
Yeah, absolutely. See, they're all quite into this game, and good entertainment at halftime there. Good to see a little bit of comedic relief there. That was good.
This is the last time we have it confirmed that the ARC will be in Victoria and Langford here. Of course, next year is a Rugby World Cup year. Looking forward to that over in England. Winston, the Canadian team playing in your old stomping grounds in Leicester. Not playing at Tiger Stadium, though. We're playing across the street at the Leicester City Football Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Which is actually the case in a few places. So plans well underway for Canada at the World Cup. You going to head over for that one?
Time will tell. I hadn't really planned on it, but you never know.
Take your beautiful daughters. I'm sure they'd love to see beautiful Leicester.
Beautiful Leicester. You know, when I was playing there years ago, they were trying to get into the Leicester Foxes football stadium as their home ground, and that fell through. So they ended up improving Welford Road, which, you know, for me is just one of those, you know, great places to play rugby. And
yeah, it is not so great if you're not from Leicester. I got to tell you, a few tough ones there. I see your old teammate and captain Martin Johnson has been named ambassador for that World Cup, and obviously was the captain when England lifted the World Trophy in 2003.
Tremendous leader. You know, as far as, you know, being able to tie everybody's emotions in right before a game with just the right words, Martin was just excellent at that. You know, there was a lot of different personalities on that team, and
yeah,
he had a really good ability to sort of bring everybody's focus to where it needed to be. And, you know, not saying what he did on the field, which was tremendous. You know, real leader. Sort of, I took from him that every team, if you want to be successful, you need a strong second row. And because the most successful team I was on was Leicester, and Martin was the anchor of that second row. And it seemed in the lineouts, in the scrums, in the breakdowns, having a monstrously effective second row just enabled you to win games.
Well, I can say from experience, having played against you guys, there's a big difference whether he's on the field or not. Certain players have that impact. Right now it's ARC action, and Canada's, whoever gave the team talk for Canada to come out of the tunnel did a good job, but that was Gilmore or Kieran Crowley between them, because they responded well. They made some big hits and did exactly what was required of them.
And, you know, I think there's no reason why they shouldn't do that in the second half, Gareth. I mean, it's all to play for here. You know, this is, they're setting themselves up for a really good result and finish, and you know, this is, you know, talking to some of my Canadian rugby fans over the past week, and maybe didn't come away from Wednesday's game with a really great taste in their mouth, and this no doubt will have erased that, and will give everybody optimism and positivity going forward.
Yeah, it's important to keep it up. Another 40 minutes of play here. Argentina have looked, by their standards, a little bit average, but we are in a World Cup year, Winston, and there's a November tour looming. Canada have 4 games coming up. The first, an extra one outside the window, as we see a few of the Canadian players taking the field against a Championship 15 in England, and then up to North Wales to play Namibia, and then over to France to play Samoa, and then a big return fixture in Bucharest against Romania, where they beat Canada on the last kick of the game. So huge opportunities for some of these players. Some of them will be selected from this group to go over to Europe in November. Some of them won't have made the grade. See Brian Hamilton there in the red scrum cap in the sub jersey. Great to see him fit and challenging for the hooker spot again. And that's what's on the cards for Kieran Crowley and his group.
I mean, by no means is this, would you call this Team Canada, in the sense that there are so many regular players that aren't here. So this is really just an opportunity for the next level of guys to show that, you know, when the chips are down, they're able to step up. And so far, this group today has done that. And, you know, there's a few in particular that have sort of shone. I think Barkwell, again, has just led by example, and Dalla has been tremendous. McCrory, for the most part, has been very efficient at his 9. And
I mean, significantly, some of those front row partners with Barkwell are playing different rugby around the world. Both Hubert Bidens and Easton Marshall have made their final down in New Zealand. So Manawatu and Hawke's Bay, they'll be going at it against each other in the New Zealand final. So that's great to see. And they'll bring their experiences from down there to the Canadian cause in Europe, as well as young Jake Kilnicki from Williams Lake. Just had a big result with his team last night. So lots of players around the world, still Canadian and still representing. Right now, Ormston will get us back into the action. Argentina kicking off. Blevins receives. He hits Olmsted. Again, Canada out wide. Using Parfrey's boot, a little bit of pressure so he doesn't get all the territory he wanted. And the wind is picking up a little bit. Just 5:30 p.m. on the west coast of Canada here, Vancouver Island. And the wind is going from right to left on your screens. So we'll see if that becomes a factor. Referee Asso setting the line. The man from Japan. And an interesting end to that first half. Let's see if Canada get on the correct side of him. It's 13 points to 9. Argentina in the lead at the moment. They hit their captain through the middle. The cross kick from Ormston, the little chip. They spotted something at halftime, but Blevins gathers very well. Dalla scruffs it at the base of the scrum. Wilson Ross goes out to Duke. Nowhere to run for Duke. He'll do well to even stay on the field, and he does.
Outstanding work.
And McCrory puts it up. Olmsted downfield. Off a shoulder.
Wow.
The referee said play on. Here's the experienced captain and hooker. Two Argentinian players down behind the play.
5.
Again, he looks to show kick but doesn't get it. Parfrey just able to hang on to Cortese, the hooker. Ormston seeing there's a hole on the fringe, comes back to the edge of that ruck.
Oh.
He's got great vision, Ormston. I've been very impressed with him. That one spilled and then regained by the center. He turns it inside, but it goes to Barkwell. And then it goes to Rodrigo Baez.
Ferguson, why did you stop on that play?
Well, this is crazy stuff. It's the whole air has gone out of the stadium here, Winston.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's a bizarre looking play. That ball was passed to Barkwell. He bobbled it, and Baez ended up with it, and he had a free run-in.
Well, I'd like to see the replay and just
see what this is the end of it. And Ormston puts his hands in the air to celebrate. Wow, what a crucial play.
Well, that was unfortunate. Seemingly a strong defensive line for Canada, had everything dealt with in 13. Juan Ignacio Brechts made the break, got it going, but you're right, there was some craziness in there, some ping pong ball, and then it looked to me like the Canadian fullback just, instead of trying to make a tackle there, trying to turn to the ref and put his hands up, which I can't understand.
Yeah.
I'd have to see it again, but that was my initial reaction there. So that's an unfortunate blow for the Canadians.
Fernandez adds the 2 points. So 20 points to 9 for Argentina. And not the start to the second half that Coach Crowley wanted, or Captain Gilmore. Let's see if this crowd can get back into it and lift this.
Well, we saw a second half early try, similarly scored by the United States in the last game, and sort of settled down after that, and let's hope the same thing happens here.
Daypuck's made his call. He's going to hang this kick high and long. Duke is the first one downfield. Can he get some pressure? He does. Nice. A good tackle from him.
That's a few times today as a winger he's come down and made that tackle, which, you know, having done that a lot, it's not an easy play to make.
No, especially with obstruction there looming from Argentina. The try scorer Baez trying to offload.
Oh, they're well off their feet there.
And Wilson Ross scragging there. Good tackle from him. So the breakdown has been quite scrappy today, Winston.
Yeah.
Let's see the chase. There's the initial tackle.
So it looks to me that Argentinians are coming way off their feet. They're not supporting their body weight, which
Wilson Ross was trying to steal the ball there.
Did just enough there to disrupt and earn the Canadian team a scrum and a nice attacking position for the speedsters Ferguson and Duke outright.
So, good attacking position. Options both sides for Canada. You see Ferguson at the bottom of your screen. There's players 3 to the top, to the left of your screen, 3 to the bottom. Scrum was a problem at the end of the first half. Can Canada contain it and produce possession here?
They made a change up front with Dolezal coming in for Woolridge. Moved Smith over to the tight head side, and
this is chronic. This is dreadful. Canada will be sent to the sin bin because Smith has been deemed to have
And it's our
collapsed
ball.
it.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, Canada put in the best attacking position of the half.
Not
And
sure.
referee Asso deems Canada decided to take it down. It goes down, there's no question. But as Gilmore appeals, who's to know? So Canada will be one short, one in the sin bin for 10 minutes. Substitute coming Argentina's way. Looks like Guillemard will be off the field.
Top.
Canada will have to play one short for 10 minutes here. As you said, Dolezal is on the field for Doug Woolridge, the man from London, Ontario. Clean possession, Argentina. The flat ball bobbled. Well, now we've all been in this position. You get a couple of harsh calls against you from a referee against a higher ranked nation. You know, you're hoping you get a bit of a break or that they can make up for it some way.
Yeah, it can be, you know, that's the magic, the power of sport, hey, being able to control your emotions and not get your attention taken away from the task at hand, which is playing good rugby.
And this is good defense there. Parfrey and Gilmore between them, putting pressure on. Woolridge, who just thought he was done for the day, has had to come back on the field because of that sin bin. He must have front row players in there, so it'll be the same front row that started the first two games. Smith very harshly done by there, I think. But McCrory will have attacking possession.
Well,
another midfield scrum.
Use a hit.
Wow. They are not in favor of the referee.
I am not
Free kick.
Yeah.
Don't know what it's for. He says use the head. I don't know what that means.
Wow.
Play on. Argentina ball. They've got to try and put something together, but they spilled another one. Baez has knocked it on forward. McCrory's around the corner.
Oh.
He's nudged it for himself. All those Argentinian players are offside. The referee's missed it. Every one of them's ahead of that block kick. But Canada has possession. And there's a big hit on the side of the ruck, and the touch judge's flag has gone out off screen.
Wilson Ross is into it with their biggest player.
Gilmore goes in to protect him just at the top of your screen there. Wilson Ross goes in to clean out at the ruck. And then there's a big shout from the crowd, as you may have heard. Asmus has seen, he was right on the scene. That's referee Chris Asmus, assistant official.
I've had him as a ref in many of my games, and he is not shy to put the flag out. So
there you go. I think there was something off the ball. Let's see what he has to say. Let's see it. Look at the top of your screen. After the ruck goes down, well, this is the block kick. So as this ball is blocked, all those players are in offside position, can't play the ball. And the referee lets them play on. This was the second kick after the sort of the melee was occurring, and just to the left of your screen there. See the push and shove, and Wilson Ross not backing down. Good to see. And one injury on the field. So the infraction occurred at the breakdown where Wilson Ross was trying to clean out. And referees have seen something. I can't quite hear the mics.
We have to assume referee Asmus has clearly seen an infraction. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to go against the Canadian team.
He's going to his pocket. It's a yellow card for Canada, so they're down to 13 men. Again, no retribution for the Argentinian. Asmus has obviously just seen the one infraction on Wilson Ross, so you wonder if Winston maybe he took a cheap shot to a player who was defenseless at that ruck. You never know. It was definitely a big hit, and it got a reaction from that crowd. So this is difficult territory indeed. Two players short for at least 5 minutes here.
That's a tall order.
But this is when character is built. Argentina now will go into overdrive mode. I'm sure they'll try and move the ball, try and find the holes where those players would normally be in the defensive setup. Argentina line out. Cortese to throw in. He's got the substitute on the field. Big Lezana, who started the last game. He hits him. There goes the drive.
Canada has done very well to stall that drive.
That's stopped. They must use it. There's Cortese. It's the drive they're looking for.
Now is certainly a time when the Canadians want to put a big hit in here.
Lots of Canadians tied up in the middle, not able to get out of the runners that came through. Ball's gone backwards, said the referee. Still Argentina, Pleshing. 22 meters out. Ormson. Oh, the interception!
Hey, Barkwell. Nice play.
Dolezal quickly moves it. Flag needs to move it. He goes down. Just what Canada needed. It's gone the wrong way. Knocked forward by Canada. Advantage being played to Argentina. No advantage accruing. So well read by Barkwell. Almost got free.
Oh, that's a tough break for Aaron Flagg. Comes back against the grain, looking to set up a ruck, looking to tie in defenders, and just got hit a little bit too hard here.
Let's watch the read by Barkwell. Number 2. He sees the floated pass. Great hands from him. Look at that. The little man jumping up. And after the breakdown here, it looked like McCrory was sweeping around, and maybe Flagg could have gone with the flow. This was the knock on to Canada that was called. Good work again from Olmsted. You got to be so happy with him, really, as a find from this tournament. He played well for the Wolfpack in the CRC, but that's a different level to this, Winston, and he's shown great athleticism and great hunger to be around the ball.
He's got good size, yeah, great instincts, and you know that's something that harkens back to the older days of Canadian rugby, where you had bigger, stronger, harder men, and you know, if we have to maybe go to Australia to find them, so be it.
Well, he's from Parramatta 2 Blues, but feels very much Canadian. He played for Canada 20s, and yeah, he's not by any means a shipped-in character. He has a connection with this country and feels very proud to put on that jersey.
I've been impressed with him, and yeah, I think he's the kind of player that harkens well for the side.
So more challenging times for Canada. Again, too short. 5 backs defending for Canada. Ball's popped loose. Another knock on. So Argentina really presenting opportunities, but Canada not able to capitalize on them.
Well, this is a learning experience for all these guys, right? They're, you know, this is the pressures of competition. You know, very rarely does it all go smoothly and easily, and usually only does if you're been with a team for a long time and you played together. And this team, you know, they've come together, a bit of an all-star team.
And you have to think, Winston, for our ice hockey fans, it's almost like a 2-man advantage at the moment. If they can get through this next 2 minutes, get 1 man back on the field, and then another 5 minutes, then maybe that's what lifts them to go on to great things here. Right now, Argentina have a big right-hand side of the field to attack. Total confusion at the scrum time. By the referee, by the scrum halves, by everyone. And a penalty against Canada for presumably wheeling intentionally.
Every scrum, every infraction has gone against Canada. Referee also, I guess, thinks that these Argentinians don't cheat at all.
Yeah, here we go. There's the scrum. I mean, the scrum half looked up before he put it in. He wasn't sure what he was supposed to do. That goes immediately around, but the hooker's up.
The Argentinian hooker's up. He's popped up.
I'd like to think that we have the likes of Woolridge and Dolezal who could manhandle an Argentine front row when they want to, at their will. I don't believe that's the case, and I think there's some naive interpretations going on in the front row. But that said, that's the way it is. Argentina are on the front foot, 15 meters out. 1 minute left in the first sin bin for Canada. Here comes the drive. Can they deal with it? Argentina formed up, no go forward at the moment. Here comes the second shove. They'll have to either score or use it at this stage. Stopped, 3 meters out, total control. Well, he's fallen over the line. Easy stuff in the end, and more pushing and shoving.
And I think you'll agree, Gareth, if we watch that whole thing again, which we probably won't, that that was a textbook-driven line out. Composure. They took their time. They didn't rush it, and eventually made their way over.
Yep, clinical stuff, and credit that Argentinian pack. You know, there's some real experience in there. Not quite sure who dotted down for Argentina, but the likes of Guillermin and Alemano did well there. Baez, Ortega Decio, strong. tonight. Been outstanding the whole tournament.
Get a replay of the try.
There is Rodrigo Baez, 25-year-old.
Well, you know, I look at my sheet here of Argentinian players, and you know, I see 118 kgs, 115 kgs, 118 kgs. These are big men, and when you put 5 or 6 of them together and they work in unison, you know, almost impossible to stop.
Well, Hernandez has mercifully pulled that one, so it's only 5 points for Argentina, 25 points to 9. Lots of work to do for Canada.
And here comes the crowd urging the Canadian team on, trying to give them some energy so the Canadians can come back here and score a try.
Canada's still 2 men short. Captain Gilmore asking if that sin bin's over. It must be very close. 1 minute is the signal from the sideline. That's Nathan Abdelnour, Rugby Canada's referee guru. So again, long. Again, strong running. Oh, just breaks out of the tackle. Good stuff from the number 8.
That was a forward pass.
Thinks it's forward. McCrory covering. Isaac is dealt with, but he's still 5 meters from the line. Penalty against Canada, not releasing. Oh, the high tackle. So Gordon McCrory is guilty of a high tackle.
Are you kidding
on
me?
Dan Isaac, who's 1.84 m. A dangerous tackle, presumably. But Canada's got to be better than that. That was a very soft breakout from Facundo Issa. Straight off the kickoff. And Ormson will stick that one in the corner. So you see the Argentinian players
I'd like to see a replay of that tackle, Gareth. I don't think there was anything wrong with that.
This is the breakout, and this is what's inexcusable, really. Just a show and go. He falls down. And the Canadian players falling off that tackle. Issa showing great depth. Look at this, the little man on the big man. He tracks him to the corner. That is not a dangerous tackle in anyone's books. So another call against Canada, but they only have themselves to blame, to be fair. 5 meters out, Argentina driving again. Barkwell in the middle, may be able to disrupt. Referee saying it's gone down, scrum to Canada. Held in, not produced.
We hear a smattering of applause, but I'm sure everybody's in shock that we were not penalized there for something. Canadian team needs to put some of this behind them, just like I have, and move forward.
Attaboy, Winston.
And
keep our neutral seats here.
Yeah.
Frustration in both teams. It's been a scrappy second half, really. The Argentinians knocking some ball on, showing some glimpses, as Issa did there. But Canada seemed to have lost the continuity they showed in the first half. They did have a lot of possession.
Yeah, and that missed tackle we saw there in the 22 is indicative of a bit of maybe a lessening of intensity, maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in, because those tackles were not being missed in the first half.
That's a great point, Winston. And you need 80 minutes. We saw that famously in the Bledisloe Cup game, New Zealand-Australia. Great game of rugby. New Zealand winning, literally not leading for the whole game, and the last kick of the game, they won against Australia. So that's a landmark of good international sides.
Yeah, those wins feel pretty special, pretty rare.
Gordon McCrory to put the ball in here. Canada now have 14 men on the field, so only 1 down. Harfrey, first receiver there with Dapek just off the scrum. Another free kick against Canada, and it's their put in on their own line. And now a penalty against Argentina for not releasing the tackler. Well, more pushing and shoving. There's total confusion from the players, which is, again, an indictment of what the referee's managing here. But play on, holding on at the tackle is the call against Argentina.
Certainly will be a talking point at the end of this game, Gareth.
Yep. So McCrory gets a chance to clear the lines for Canada. And let's see if they can put something together here in the last 20 minutes. We are Game 6 of the America's Rugby Championship, IRB's tournament in 2014. Great scenes here, good rugby action, and we're delighted to know we've had viewers from 107 different countries around the world So thank you very much for your support. Hope you've enjoyed the rugby. We still got a little bit more to play here. But we're very proud in Canada to bring you this tournament, and we love hosting it, and we love the impact, Winston, the game has on the local community here.
Oh, there's no doubt every club gets excited for this event and supports it and comes out and you know, it enhances the knowledge of some of the fringe players that will, you know, first time coming out to see. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Indeed, Kyle Bailey wins the line out, but it bounced kindly for Joaquin Pass.
It was a unintentional pass to pass. Oh, that was unfortunate.
Not quite sure who the intended receiver was, but a complete breakdown in the Canadian midfield. And there's smiles all around because the 20-year-old who turns 21 in a few days got a great gift there in the Canadian backfield.
He did very well to catch that, I think, with one hand. I'd have to see that again. Yeah. That was a nice take, but there's no way that should be happening off of a line-out ball that we win.
First
Canadians
phase.
win.
First phase possession. So they're going crazy in Cordoba Athletic. In Canada, they don't quite know what's hit them here. And a big test for Gilmore to get his troops regrouped. Just focus on the next few minutes would be my advice, Winston. Get their hands on the ball, make some tackles. They've got a kickoff, long kickoff here. As James Smith is back on the field.
Yeah, I think, you know, for most coaches anyways, you try to, you know, plan for segments of 5-10 minutes. You know, you want to win this 10 minutes. You don't want to look too far in the future, so hopefully Canada can, you know, wipe out maybe the last 15 minutes and just focus on the next 5 and you really just try to get down inside the Argentinians' 22 and hopefully end up with a score.
All good cleanup by Canada. Well, this is better. James Smith making amends. It was costly, 12 points while the two Sinbin men were off the field.
Nice involvement by Admir Sijanovic from Burnaby.
Knocked back, McCrory at the base. Canada looking to build something. Gala around the back, immediately engulfed by Argentinian jerseys.
He's offside.
Hint of offside from Argentina, not called. Play on. Parfrey to Dolezal, but everything's happening behind the gain line. The inside ball to Blevins coming off his wing. Not a lot of space at the moment. You can hear the Spanish voices and the intensity is coming from Argentina in defense. Barkwell trying to burrow his way through. Parfrey hits Smith in the midfield. Offload to Dalla, it's kept alive. Hands was required. Couldn't get it to the unmarked men. McCrory's having to do some rucking. There's no one there. But Argentina guilty, and Smith takes a tap on his own.
There we go.
Immediately crushed by the Argentinian substitute, Montoya.
Well, these Argentinians are picking out on defense, they're picking out the Canadians nice and early, and they're running up fast and driving in low. This is good team defense, and let's hopefully we can break a tackle and make a break here.
And not 10 for Montoya, so Canada going to tap and run. Duke is on the ball. Well, the Argentinian bench is below us. You maybe can hear them, but they are screaming trabajo, which means work, and the intensity is coming. They are working very hard in defense. Kyle Bailey, the man from PEI.
Hands.
Referee says hands, but then the ball's stolen, so he lets it go on. McCrory flips it out. Daypuck
does very well to get that ball back.
Sam Parfrey finally gets up to the gain line for Canada. Homestead first receiver. McCrory has a look. There's nothing there. Homestead wins the collision. He does well. Penalty again, and if the referee has to go to his pocket here, that's about 5 penalties in a row for not releasing the tackler.
I'm surprised he's not even talking to their captain.
Blevins. And is it a fair steal by Argentina? Looks like it. I think it's the captain. Baez did very well to get over that ball. A little short in support, and the breakout again. Hernandez from the back. He's got 2 outside him, but the pass is behind. That's Isaac, a try score. He hits Barea. Slow to come out. Hernandez offloads to a bigger man. Ormston realizing there's no one home for Canada. Ferguson's having to come all the way across the field. What will the bounce do? It's gone off the Argentinian boot or off his hand by the looks of the referee. So Winston Stanley, frantic play there. Argentina asserting themselves in defense.
It's nice to see the Canadians throwing caution to the wind and tapping and going and looking to create and being proactive and positive. Just, you know, eventually I think they had 10 or 12 phases, but eventually we got isolated. Canadians got isolated there, and the ball was cleanly stolen off them.
Yeah, Ferguson does well to scrap there, and he may have taken a shot to the shoulder as he stays down. He's getting some treatment. He walks back into position. So the man from UBC Thunderbirds and Brentwood College doing well to shore things up at the back. A few more subs on the field. Ryan Hamilton in the right scrum cap on for Raymond Barkwell. Good to see him back after injury. The man from Capellanos taking a run at the World Cup squad.
Be interesting to see if Andrew Coe, 18-year-old from Markham, will get a run today.
Well, he came on Wednesday night for just a few minutes, and he had a massive tackle to make, and it was kind of like, are you up to this or not, kid? And he stood in the hole, and he made a big tackle, and that's what you want to see. And so the boy from Markham can maybe bring something to this effort. Again, Canada a little stunted in their attack, but that's good yards from Gilmore.
I'd like to see more of that today. Great runner of the ball, very strong.
Murphy kicks through long, but it goes straight to the substitute. Morales played fullback in the first two games. McCrory cleans up. He puts his boot to it. A nice kick. He's inside the 22. Excellent work from him. And Argentina in no rush to take a quick throw in. You can't fault Gordon McCrory just to the bottom of your screen there. I think he's worked hard at number 9 today. It's really opened up for him, but
no, there hasn't been a lot of running room for him, but you know, if I had to grade him out of 10 with his kicks, for box kicks like that, he's, you know, 8.5, 9. He's been very solid, and some really nice penalty kicks as well.
Yeah, as this game's slipping away on the scoreboard, McCrory kept Canada in touch for the first half.
Good pressure by Olmsted there.
For you there, up on the screen. So just a few Argentinians stepping out of Canadian tackles, as we noted. And Arriba again, and there's the offload. Good support from Panesi. Good tackle from Duke, and he has every right to play that ball, and he does. And the Panesi needs to get away from that, but referee says he doesn't. The chip over. Blevins deals with it. Good awareness from him. He offloads to Wilson Ross. Corey goes to Smith, top of the screen. Tries to offload behind the back. High risk moves at the moment. And the referee said that's gone forward. Again, didn't look like it from here as it went off the Argentinian's back, but that's the call.
That is the call.
So we got your score corrected there, 32 points to 9. As is always the case when we talk about sin bins, and you see the replay here, it's tied up, all the players sending on Ferguson. But the sin bin, 12 points to the good for Argentina, huge advantage while those Canadian players are off the field, and probably the difference in this match at the moment.
It's really, it's been certainly an improved performance by the Canadian team, and I'm sure if they'd brought this sort of energy and intensity and desire to the first two games, they would have both been, you know, a little bit of a different result. So, you know, a little bit hard done by some decisions and a couple of soft, easy tries, but, you know, for the most part, you know, a performance that, you know, I think most fans can feel, you know, pretty positive about and have some things to talk about.
The ARC, so get your 50-50 tickets out for $1,687.
We have the Argentinians about to have a scrum here. Looks like they've got their back line in a bunched formation.
We will draw the number momentarily.
Ormson has been outstanding in this game. He flips it out. Well, there's a loose one for Ferguson. And Duke is off, but immediately eased up. Canada hitting midfield again. Not getting a lot of glory out there. Crowd doing their best. Parfy, first receiver. Smith bobbles, but then offloads. Good footwork.
Admir's
Knocked down by Morales and knocked back, says the ref. And there's a bit of a scrap off the ball as Blevins finishes his check, if you will. Ormson gathers, looking to regroup.
McRory tries to lay the lumber there.
Yeah. And the referee's going to come back for a knock on. So nothing going Canada's way at the moment. Yeah, Blevins dumped his man.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Admir Savanovic,
you got it.
Tell you what, he's been very impactful. That's 3 times he's been near the ball and 3 good things have happened. So
Admir from the Burnaby Lake Club over there, played for the BC Bears and is currently training out of this facility here in Langford as one of the centralized carded National Sevens players in the Center of Excellence. So he's made huge gains physically. He's a youngster still. But
youth and community rugby programs, please bring your ticket to the announcer's booth straight up above center field.
Well, certainly done enough to hopefully gain a few more opportunities. He's fit. He looks fit. He, strong in contact. I've been impressed.
Here we go, Argentina scrum. It breaks up again up the front, but no penalty this time. Play on. Ormson, the provider. He's been excellent in this game. Gets his troops moving forward. Ball's popped out. Canada pounces on it. Bailey gets his hands on it. Barfree, Wilson Ross.
Ooh.
That was a big hit there.
That's the
for Andrew
youngster.
Coe.
Welcome to the game, Andrew.
Argentina again off their feet, killing the breakdown. Canada not really been allowed to play when they have had the ball. And well done, Andrew Crow, popping to his feet.
Still no card, no warnings. Not sure why Aki, Mr. Asso, has decided not to.
It'll be a talking point, there's no question.
Even it out.
Dapuk's left puck will get Canada some territory. 32 points to 9 here. The last game of ARC 2014.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're still looking for a 50-50.
Canada, not the result they wanted, but at least a partial performance showing some pride. The second half has been disorganized, to say the least. A new line-out presence on the field, 16, 17, 19, and 20. Olmsted calling the line out just at the back there. It's overthrown and knocked on. So those are the tough things, but when the new men are on the field, they have to be able to execute to the same level.
That wasn't far off, maybe 2 inches above the fingers there. And really, if we had our hands up at the back, and that could have been our line out. So those bounces certainly aren't going our way here at the end of the game.
So, another scrum. Escura has been excellent in the scrum half, but I really think Winston, for me, the man of the match, the HSBC man of the match for this one. Full credit to Brian Ormson, the 23-year-old at fly half, number 10 for Argentina. He's been at the heart of everything good. He's supported well. He's controlled whatever attack there was. He's played well early in the tournament, and well done to him for his performance here today and some man of the match honors.
Yeah, well deserved. Very composed, smooth. He makes things look easy.
That was Leisana in as a substitute.
Trust me, it is not easy.
More turnover ball at the breakdown, but more penalties against Canada. Here's the replay. I think Olmsted thought he had a fair shot at this. He was on his feet. He initially came in the correct side, but maybe he was in the side the second time, although don't know. That kick's gone long, a beautiful kick to the sideline. So Argentina haven't been at their clinical best, but every time Canada's made a mistake, they punished them. They've gained territory, and even with the subs on the field, as Julian Montoya, the man from Newman, is on at hooker.
I think we'll see more of the same here from the Jaguars. They're probably going to look to drive again.
Oh, it's tap ball, cleaned by the scrum half, and Lizana gets his hands on it. Good footwork from Hernandez.
You can tell these guys have played a long time together or have trained together, because as they're making their breaks. Oof.
That was far too easy. Julian Montoya just stepping through. The scrum half made it for him, but then at the back there was nothing. A soft attempt from young Andrew Coe. And let's see, this was after he'd already broke the line off his left foot. Coe in a similar position. He does stick his head in, but not able to get it done. And Julian Montoya.
And for those of you kids watching at home, Andrew Coe just showed you exactly where not to put your head on a tackle. You want to get it to the side as opposed to straight in front of them, a bigger man's quad.
And there's our man of the match. Say, smart, positive, got his troops going, often touched the ball 2-3 times, and that was the difference. But it must be said that Canada's leaked some very, very soft tries here for a first half performance when they're very much in it, 10-9, 13-9 at the half. They really have leaked 3 incredibly soft tries in the second half, and aside the quality of Argentina Jaguars is going to punish that.
Well, yeah, you know, if they had kept up that first half intensity, maybe some of these easier offloads wouldn't be happening, but it just shows that these guys are very confident together, and they know when one of them takes a step into a hole that there's going to be somebody there running a line that they can look, and I think that's when you want to have offloads, not so much when you've made a break and you're hoping to finish to score a try.
As Hernandez comes off the field, and Ignacio Albornoz from Tucumán comes on, and credit Argentina. They've got an amazing system going right now. Their academy structure right throughout the country. They've got many, many programs and many, many athletes involved, and even retaining some players, 10 to 12 of them, the top players from going to Europe at the stage. There's tapped. Dalla pounces on it. More like a 7s kickoff, that one. So he was ready for it. Can Canada get on the ball? Smith carrying midfield. McCrory on the ball. Gilmore. Slower ball for Canada.
We've got to get it to the end of the line here.
There's Bailey. He wins his collision. Scrum half's taken out. Not material, says the referee. There's a fight going on off the field. Off. Number play on, says the ref. He's not dealing with it. The touch judge has got his flag out. Well, complete mayhem here, really. Olmsted's at the bottom of it.
No surprise.
Yeah, and Francisco Panesi also. They were entwined for about 20 to 30 seconds. And for the referee to let that go, it's ridiculous. I don't know what they're fighting about. It's like the ball's in there, but it isn't. And players arriving, trying to break them up. See Canadians sticking up for each other. Pete Houlihan in there.
21. 21, please, captain.
So we'll have a chance to hear the referee here.
21, please.
He wants to see Gonzalo Bertranu, the substitute from Los Toros. I think we got the wrong number here.
I think this referee's lost control.
And referee Asmus, the touch judge, is giving him the call. He saw it. It was off the play. Just a simple penalty. So I'm sure that will be reviewed. McCrory gets to stick it in the corner, and Canada gets an opportunity to end this with a score. Down 39 points to 9. We go to the front. Bailey not able to gather. To The basics disappearing for Canada when they need them again. Good offload out of the tackle from the substitute. And it's all Argentina at the moment. He's run forward. Ball knocked on. And yeah, the substitute, Al Bornez, high-fiving his teammate who gave him the pass. A beautiful offload out of there.
Again, some very nice offloading on display there.
See, there it is. Look, 3 men on him. As soon as you got 3 men draped on you, there's opportunities elsewhere for people. And Argentina, to their credit, have done well to keep the ball alive. Good work from Daypuck coming across to knock that ball loose.
Very good.
He's showing commitment right to the end. Asmus having another chat with the referee about something off the ball, I guess. There's somewhat of a language barrier there. Referee Aki Asu from the Japanese Rugby Union. As we said, an A-panel member. Did many Asian games. I'm going to have a word. It looks like Morales may be coming either to translate for Lucas Martinez. Binding. Something about binding.
Well, I would love to see a card then. My goodness.
So Lucas Martinez will be penalized at the point signified by the assistant referee. So McCrory looks to his captain. The captain says, put it in the corner. Let's have a drive. Let's have one last attempt.
Let's go.
5 meters. Can Canada win the line out and get it down, Winston Stanley?
Well, I sure hope so. It's going to be tough. You know, A, we've got to procure our line out, and then B, we've got to set up a drive against a formidable driving opponent.
There's Bailey at the front, gets bumped early. Yeah. No call from the ref, and no ball for Canada, although it does come back finally.
There we go. There we go.
Bailey playing the scrum half roll, goes wide to Wilson Ross. He keeps it.
That's
he
it.
steps.
That's it.
He's trying to get the offload, but Argentina did well to get in the passing lanes. McCrory arrives.
Hamilton with a
spilled
huge knock on.
Well, unfortunate for the Canada attack there.
Oh, we've seen a lot of that both sides, hey? Both sides have taken the ball in hard and balls come spilling out. But well done by Wilson Ross here to create a little bit of separation with a bit of a fend. Keep going forward, great momentum, nice support by the youngster Andrew Coe.
Don Isaac did well to get in between the supporting players and not allow Wilson Ross to offload there. You know, Wilson Ross was put in the side to provide a bit of spark. When he's had the ball, he's tried to do that. It's been a tough day for all of the Canadians, especially the second half. Substitute scrum half to put the ball in.
We're still not quite sure what happened on that far sideline to warrant a 10-minute break for Wilson Ross. Oh, McCrory.
Referee says McCrory has broken his bind, and McCrory is a scrum half. So
the ball was out.
It must have been one of the other loose forwards who broke his bind. Again, a clear signal from the ref, so he's not in doubt. Now this one's winding down here in West Hills. Let's see the scrum. There's the Wilson Ross break. And Isaac as well, he stays on the ball, so there's no way he can offload that. As young Andrew Coe comes in looking for support. Argentina arriving late to the lineout as they have done all tournament. And then mixing it up this time. Good work from them hitting the back pod. Good tackle in there from Hamilton. Canada reorganizing in defense. Lizana pumping the legs. Comes out to midfield. Again, Hamilton going in low with the help of Gilmore.
20.
20 is off
Hey,
his feet.
limit, hey, hey!
Well, the scrum half wants the ball, and the referee's not getting it.
Hop again. Let it, hey. No, hey.
Absolute loss of control here. The scrum half is seeking the ball after the penalty call, and he's shoved around and not protected by the referee. Here's the initial call. The Argentinian player is penalized for arriving off his feet. Comes in the side. See, a great call.
Yeah.
Francisco Penesi. And then after the penalty goes, the scrum half is allowed to go and get that ball. He shoves his man, but that's the spirit you want to see. Play is back on here. Canada with possession.
That was a really nice textbook tackle by the number 20 Armson there. Not only on offense, but doing it on defense as well.
Knocked on by White.
Dalla trying.
2 knock-ons, says the ref, and that is the final whistle here. Game 6 of IRB's America Rugby Championship goes to Argentina. The Jaguars deserve it victors 39 points to 9 over Canada.
Argentina 39 over Canada 9.
Well, things got a little heated there at the end. You know, a little bit of lack of control from the referee, but you know, I think unfortunately the second half was not the result or the way the Canadian fans and Canadian team wanted it to go. It was a textbook first half.
Yeah.
So much positivity coming out of there, and
yeah, that's the positive for me, that Canada came out of the gates after a poor performance, showed some heart, showed some intensity, and we're right in this game. But as you said, the second half it slipped away. That man was outstanding for Argentina. He is your man of the match. Langara Fishing Lodges, not Chip Wilson
not
there,
Colin Wilson,
but
that's later.
Mr. Ormson playing at 10 was superb. Brian Ormson, congratulations to him, and congratulations to Argentina. They retain the cup, the ARC Cup for 2014. For Canada, for some of these players, it's off to November tour. For some of them, it's back to the drawing board to reflect on this campaign, 2014, and the CRC Championship.
Are there any players here, Gareth, that you would think stood out and would have gotten themselves a spot on the tour?
I think we mentioned a few players that have done that. Evan Olmsted definitely put his hands up. He's an unknown entity in many ways. But right now, we can go down to sideline to Brian Kelly.
Thanks very much, guys. Brian Kelly down here on the sideline with Canadian captain Kyle Gilmore. Kyle, obviously not the result you guys are looking for here, but what can you say about your team's determination?
I think there's a lot of positives we can take out of this game. The score doesn't reflect it. That you know, it's a strong Argentina side, but I think there's a lot of positives we can take out of that game as well.
Tell me what it's like playing in this raw, passionate atmosphere at the Canadian Rugby Centre of Excellence in Langford.
Yeah, we've had great support, even though we didn't perform as well as we would have liked to. The crowd still turns out, so thanks to them.
Thanks very much. And we're going to take just a moment, and we'll get back with all of the post-game presentations, man of the match, man of the tournament, and from here in Langford.
Well, thank you, Brian, and you can sense the disappointment, rightfully so, from Captain Gilmore there. And Ormson waves his champagne. And Winston, it is a mixed emotion. And there's your man of the tournament, and he's captained the team. Rodrigo Baez, the 25-year-old, receives from HSBC there. That's Lisa Dalziel. Good to have her support here for all the rugby athletes and the tournament. And I believe she had Trent Abbott with her, who was also a client. So wonderful to see those players being rewarded, and full credit to Rodrigo Baez and his Argentina team. They've been the class of the event. Oh,
for sure. And you know, I think that's what this is about. Not just developing and trying to improve as a team, but bringing in a team with maybe a bit of a deeper rugby following in their country. You know, Argentina, been there many times, and it's their second sport. You know, soccer's God, but you know, there's posters of Pumas or Jaguars up on buildings, so it's a real big deal down there. It's a big country, very big guys.
And if you don't think it means a lot to win the ARC, look at these scenes. The champagne's flowing, they're dancing, and Gilmore alluded to it's a very strong Argentina Jaguar side. 6 members of the full Puma side that just defeated Australia. So it was a tough ask today for Canada, and just a bizarre thing for both of us as as supporters of Canada, a great first half, but a second half that just disappeared. And I think, again, Gilmore alluded to the soft points they leaked. Some really, really soft tries in the second half. Canada lining up there to salute their fans will receive the bronze medal in this tournament. That is the cup that Argentina have earned the right to lift. So I get the sense as we see Canada lined up that they're very much want to get out of here. It's not the result they wanted. They're doing their bit and lining up to receive the bronze medal. And we will have the Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia, the Honorable Judith Guichon, to present the medals.
And that's, you know, going back to Argentina, this is what builds you as a team. You know, taking an experience against a better team, taking a few losses like this, it makes you a better team in the long run. You know, I'll never forget going down to Australia and losing by 98 and thinking, you know, why am I playing this sport? This is terrible. And the next week coming back and beating Scotland. And, you know, that's just, it's weird how it works, but, you know, hopefully they can take some of the experiences from the second half here.
So that's what we talk about. It's what you do when you lose. So what would be key for Canada to look at this performance today? What would be the hard questions they need to ask?
I would, you know, there's going to be a lot of game film, Gareth, and not only the positives defensively from the first half, but they'll have to dissect some of the breaks, some of the sloppy, maybe some of the missed tackles, some of those things, and identify exactly where the leaks are coming. Okay, we need to shore up our defense off counters. We need to tighten our defensive net, maybe leave a little bit of space on the outside and make sure the middle's taken care of. You know, the scrum-wise, like, I'm really not sure how or what was going on in there, but, you know, until the end, the lineouts were fine. There was absolute parity between the two teams, and then just at the end of the game there, it seemed to go
going back to that scrum, because it was a key moment of the game. Canada had a couple of significant penalties at the end of the first half, and obviously the sin binning for Smith. You got a feel for the Canadian players who put a lot of work in with Coach Mike Shelley. Seemed to have parity in the first 20 minutes against Argentina, and then all of a sudden the referee took exception to their actions in the front row, quite extremely so, actually. And that's frustrating when you're on the international pitch, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, you alluded to a sports psychologist, David Cox, before, and how he was all about, you know, focused emotion. And I know it's very difficult when some of those emotions become frustration, and you want to channel those in the right way. And maybe some of the argy-bargy, some of the scuffles at the end of the game were a result of that frustration getting channeled the wrong way.
Yep, it's always on display in international rugby. These are nice scenes. Her Honor Judith Guichon, as we said, a big supporter of sport in this province and of rugby in particular. Wasn't able to host all the teams this year, but for the last 2 years has hosted all 4 teams at the house, the mansion, if you will, up on Rockland. Great bonus for our visitors from South America in particular to see the 3 First Nations ceremonies, and she's a wonderful supporter of sport, and we can't take that for granted, as has Victoria been for the ARC Championship for the last 3 years. Canada receiving the wrong colored medal, I think, as far as they're concerned, a bronze. Those men in white and blue will receive the gold, and they are maybe out of champagne already. And the navy blue jerseys are the U.S. team who, Winston, let's talk about this. Not only do they get the silver medal and beat Canada fairly on Wednesday night, but what an incredible story that happened out of Esquimalt High School just down the road with Tom Woods.
Yesterday?
Yeah, and they had a young girl there that has volunteered with Tom and the wonderful work that he does for Golf for Kids. And they realized that she was suffering from cancer herself and was a very sick girl. And with Tommy's contacts, and he's been the liaison for this American team in their time in Victoria, it's a great story. They went forward, and her dream was to always see the All Blacks play. So with the American contacts and Tommy's contacts, they've created an opportunity for her. And they had a school assembly where the whole American team came in like this and were there to announce to her that she was going to Chicago with her mom, which is very difficult times for her family. But we're going to have this wonderful experience. And I encourage you, if you haven't seen it, go on to Czech News Facebook page. There's a great story done by Jeff King and his team, and it really is the essence of rugby and all the good that rugby can do. And credit to these American players who are part of that story as well.
Well, you know, the essence of rugby and all the power and positivity. I mean, Tommy Woods does you know, exemplify that. So no surprise, he was at the heart of that. A great man, great servant to the game.
Strange scenes around here with him wearing a USA Rugby tracksuit.
I didn't see that.
One of the hardest Canadians you'd ever play against, but as liaison, he tends to do that. And there's the American flag. Coach Mike Tolkien on the left there. They are off to bigger things. November 1st, he and his team will be assembling with the European pros, joining the select few from this group to play against the mighty All Blacks. And how would you like that one, Winston, playing in an NFL stadium with over 50,000 tickets sold already? Won't that be a great event?
Great event. You know, it's sort of like a World Cup atmosphere, no doubt. And those are the ones that, you know, 10, 15 years removed from the game, you still remember those ones. I'm not sure when the All Blacks were last in America. Is this the first?
No, with British Columbia played them, and they've played on their way to Europe a few times. We played them in 1989 with British Columbia as part of the centenary for British Columbia, and I believe my father played against them back in the 60s at Empire Stadium. So it is a very special thing that they've come.
One game?
For one game, yeah. And their sponsor has driven that, and Nigel Melville, give credit to him and his team at USA Rugby. So it is one of the nice points about being involved in North American rugby. We're filling MLS stadiums. Now we're filling NFL stadiums. So if all things, as Chris Lefebvre hands out a few medals for the Americans, the IRB representative, if all things go to plan and we are awarded a 7th tournament for Vancouver, and what great scenes those will be. You were a veteran of the 7th Circuit. And what would that mean if Canada could get a 7th tournament for BC Place Stadium in Vancouver?
I think it's instant legitimacy on the international stage as far as, you know, being able to host events. You know, sevens events are just carnival-like good times.
Yeah.
You know, the games are short, the action's fast, and there's always music, and people are famously enjoying themselves. And you know, what better thing to keep bringing the interest in Canadian rugby up than landing a 7th Circuit. So I certainly hope that does happen.
Yeah, and having worked with John Furlong, the man so instrumental in the immensely successful Vancouver 2010 Winter Olympics on the bid, I think that's definitely what we want to bring to Vancouver, is that excitement, that fun around the event, and 2 days of pure international rivalry and action that you see in the likes of Hong Kong or Dubai or London now. So,
or even Las Vegas, Gareth. You know,
yeah.
I've been with Shane Thompson a few times down there with the BC youth, and just the atmosphere in a 7s tournament is you know, it's unlike anything else. It's a lot different than 15s. There's just so many countries get represented in, say, an hour, that it's easy to shift your focus from one thing to the next and stay excited.
So as the U.S. get their medals, slowly a time for some thank yous. As I mentioned, HSBC, who do so much for the World Game through the 7s and some sponsorships, were a huge partner in this event for Rugby Canada. They stepped up with their local branches. Lisa Dalziel, Jared Milla, and all her team. We thank them for coming and their clients, and they've had 3 wonderful evenings of rugby up in the box there. And rugby can't happen in regions like North Canada without support of corporate partners like that. We also have DHL here, who are a global sponsor, but have also stepped up within Canada to help these players prepare and get to a World Cup. And right now, as the applause goes out for the Americans, their silver medal, 2nd place finish on the heels of an important victory over Canada on Wednesday night. It will be Argentina's moment in the sun. They like to have a little bit of a party here. The banner will be brought out for them, and they will probably dance around and have some fun.
Be surprised not to hear the Ole 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 song.
I think it might come, Winston. Yeah, and as you said earlier, these are the tough things. You have to sit here, and it's great to see the Canadians actually standing behind the Argentinians, taking all this in, because you have to take it in. You don't have the right to be up there lifting that cup, and it's what you do with this pain. No one likes to be in this position, but it's how you channel this frustration or this disappointment in not being up there lifting the cup. That's what's important, I think, for the next phase of Canadian rugby. Yeah,
and you know, like, I think we saw enough good things from enough young players that, you know, I think everybody's got, you know, a better feeling coming out of the stadium today than they did on Wednesday, that's for sure.
And even for young Andrew Crow, we talked about 18 years old, just to be in this environment, in the cauldron you know, asked a big question at the end. This time wasn't up to it. So now he can go back and learn from that mistake right at the end there.
And sure, he only got a few minutes, but you know he's going to go back to his club in Ontario, and he just played Argentina.
Yep.
And so the game's going to slow down a little bit for him, and you know it's good. It's great for his development. I think all young players should, you know, be given a chance to play up and above their level, and I really think that helps you when you come back to wherever you're playing, and you're able to sort of, you know, dictate and dominate a little bit more.
So if you haven't enjoyed the coverage here, we do have one sevens tournament that has been announced, and that will be in April in the same stadium, the women's stop on the World Series. And we're delighted to say that Canada has, for the first time, will be joining the likes of Amsterdam, Atlanta, London, and Dubai and Hong Kong. As the stops on the World Circuit. So our women's team that did so well, both in 15s, getting to the final of the World Cup, and losing finalists at the World Championships in Moscow last year, will be right here for any locals want to come out and support here at West Hill Stadium. That'll be good to watch, hey Winston? 2 days of live sevens action.
Well, yes, and you know, even more so that our women's sevens team is, you know, top 4 in the world. We're really quite a great team to watch. So, you know, as far as all the local rugby players and the young girls that are playing the game, you know, there's a chance to come out and you've got some heroes and mentors right there, and they're really good people, and yeah, it's perfect.
John Tate, our old teammate in second row for the Canada team for many years, is leading that up, and obviously with one eye on the Olympics, a big part of what's happened in North American rugby, the path to the Olympics, as we see the final medals going on the necks of the victors through Her Honor Judith Guichon. And now it will be party time for Argentina. Go over to that trophy. And the Vice President of the Argentinian Union, who's been here. Great to see him involved, and great to see some old friends back in Victoria.
I have a feeling these Argentinians are going to be a little disappointed tonight at around 1 o'clock when all the bars close.
Well, they've earned it after 3 convincing wins in the tournament.
Because the bars don't even open in Argentina until 1 o'clock.
I think it's a quick trip to the Touch Lounge. A great friend of rugby, Roger Robinson, is hosting all the teams. So if you're local, get down there and enjoy a nice celebration with our teams. And that will do it as the captain walks over to the cup. By himself, soon to be joined by his teammates. Chris Lefebvre congratulates him. Rodrigo Baez, who was our man of the tournament, who is the captain of the Argentina team. And he is inviting his teammates over to lift this cup for a big shout for many of the Argentinian fans who have traveled. And there it is. Argentina Jaguars, champions of the IRB Rugby Championship 2014. And there is the party we expected.
And that's good to see. You know, it is hard work out there and a lot of training, a lot of hours spent in the gym and getting your body smashed. You should enjoy it when you win. You should smile, you should laugh, you should dance.
Couldn't agree more, Winston. And dance they will. So congratulations to Argentina. Congratulations to all the teams, everyone who's put this event on. Thank you to the IRB for bringing the event to Canada. And one last word, Winston. It's been a pleasure to work with you. Your first stab at commentating. Great to have you on board.
Gareth, you made it super easy. I appreciate it. It was really enjoyable to sit here and watch these games with you.
So Argentina champions for 2014 America's Rugby Championship. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Gareth Reese for Winston Stanley, signing off. Have a great evening.
If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far. Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to.
We're passionate about logistics. By the way it gets the right thing to the right place at the right time. Helping businesses of all sizes grow to achieve their potential. That's why we say excellence, simply delivered for you.
Langara Fishing Adventures, proud sponsor of Rugby Canada.
This America's Rugby Championship match is brought to you in part by Check TV, Helijet, Eagle Wing Tours, Tourism Victoria, Canadian Direct Insurance, the Bouchard Gardens, This America's Rugby Championship match is brought to you in part by DHL, Under Armour, the Times Colonist newspaper, Via Sport, Langara Fishing Adventures, Maxwell's Clothiers,